The following is a sponsored program paid for by Grand Rounds. It's a beautiful sunny day here at Grand Rounds. Why am I at Grand Rounds? Well, because it's time to talk to Tessa. And we wanted to come in to see the brewing process. What are we going to see when we go back there?
So they're just about finished, but you'll see them draining the brew kettle, putting everything into the fermenter. They're going to talk to you about how they're transferring, what they're cleaning. The beer is brand new. We've never put it on. It's a new creation today. We don't even have a name for it yet.
Oh, my.
So you get to talk to Ann and Aaron about that.
All right, excellent. Let's go back there.
All right.
Going back into the fun parts of a restaurant / brew area. Oh my gosh. Well, this is not what I expected to see.
Yeah, this is where all the magic happens. So this is Ann Fahey Gus.
Hey, Ann.
Hi, how are you? Is Aaron Espy.
Hey, Aaron. What do you have in your hands right now?
I have a hose.
He has a hose.
I'll be starting here in a sec if you.
And what is the hose for?
Basically we run cold water through here and our wort through here.
Okay, so if I was thinking if I put my mouth on it, I wouldn't get delicious beer.
No.
Okay.
Sweet water, basically.
Sweet water.
Sweet and bitter water.
Am I allowed up on your platform?
Come on up.
Thank you very much.
And I'll tell
Let me shake your hand.
Good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see
What is
you.
your official title?
What do we call me? We call me the brewing advisor.
You're not the brewing goddess?
Well, that'd
It should be brewing
Can I
goddess.
change?
So this could be your goddess ale. Or what kind of
Yeah.
beer are we making, actually?
We're making a light amber ale. A lot of people like to have lighter beers in the summertime, but they still want some color and some caramel flavor. So this is the first one we've made.
Now, ale, that means it's lighter, right? As compared to a stout, which is heavier?
Yeah,
Okay.
and darker. And then the lagers or the pilsners, the blonde ales are
What
all
exactly
on
is
the
a
light.
pilsner? I only know that Stroh's is a pilsner, and that's all I know. I don't actually know what pilsner means.
Well, pilsner is a specific style of making a pale lager.
Okay.
So you're going to use a lager yeast, and it's going to have a little bit more addition so that it has a little bit more mineral sort of taste to it. If you think Pilsner Urquell, that's like your classic Pilsner.
So is it named after someone? Like Bob Pilsner?
No, it's named after a place, Pilsen, Germany.
Oh, all right. Pilsen, Germany. That'll be on the test. All right, and what are we looking at in here?
So that kind of whitish, creamy colored stuff, that's trub. So that's coagulated protein and polyphenol.
You have me at coagulated.
And you want it to stay in here.
Right.
And then the nice, clear, reddish colored liquid to go out into the fermenter. And when it starts to break up badly, little tiny pieces aren't bad, but when the whole thing starts to slip, that's when we want to shut it off.
Okay.
And at the moment, we're doing pretty good. It's a pretty compact pile.
I see some steam coming up here. How warm is that?
Well, this was boiling.
Oh, okay.
Not anymore, obviously, but yeah, you boil it to get that coagulation to happen. Sort of like cooking an egg. You put your egg on the stove.
Yeah.
That white part is primarily protein.
Would it be good to drink at this point, or is it just like tasty water?
It would be hoppy, it'd be bitter, sweetish, bitter, yeah, no.
So you're describing every ex-girlfriend I've ever had. Okay. So, okay, it goes from here to where?
We're just a second here. Aaron, we're just about to hit the end, and here it goes. It's starting to slip. Good job.
Let's see. Big noise stopped.
So you can see that really all we have left in the kettle is just that trub stuff.
Okay.
All the beer is gone. Beer goes through that chiller.
All right.
Right there.
And that's the thing that kind of looks like an old-fashioned stand-up radiator.
Yeah, it does. And in fact, it works pretty much the same way. So it goes through that, and then it goes around that kind of greenish hose.
Okay.
And it goes into the fermenter over there.
And those are the big tall tanks.
Those big tall guys are fermenters. Yep.
Also known as Mark.
Yeah.
They're known as Mark?
Well,
They're
that's
named.
Mark.
Oh, what are all their names?
No, Mark and Bonnie are my parents.
And Selena's my mother-in-law.
Oh, excellent.
And then we haven't named the other tank yet.
We think we'll name it Goddess, though, after me.
I think that's a perfect name. But I think you need to pronounce it Goddess.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like you're just a little bit like, I can't think of his name, in Good Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Sean Penn's character was kind of a,
Like
doughhead.
that.
Yeah. Yes, he was. He was just like that.
Like that.
Okay, so how long does this stay in the mark?
fermenter, so it'll be in mark for about 14 days. We ferment it there, and we also start cooling it there, so that once it's nice and cold, then we can transfer it downstairs to our serving tanks.
Okay.
We'll hold it in the serving tank just to precipitate out any more stuff.
Right.
And then we can start serving it. That usually takes about 5 days.
That's really cool. How'd you get into this whole business?
Well, that's kind of a weird story.
Well, that's okay. We're all about weird stories.
I graduated from Stanford with a degree in biochemistry.
Okay.
I moved back to Colorado, where I was from, and I moved in with my mom. My parents had divorced, and I very quickly learned that I needed to have another place to live. As most all college people returning home. So I put in for different jobs that would want to have biochemistry people.
Sure.
One of them was Coors. The EPA was another one, and would be the Colorado Department of Pollution Control.
Okay.
And, well, long story short, Coors paid more. Because I'm 21 years old.
Right.
I want a place.
No,
So
absolutely.
I started at Coors. I did just the basic jobs, but I loved it. Really loved it. And so I worked at Coors for a number of years, and while there, I finished an MBA and an engineering degree, and I became their, what they called an international brewing engineer.
Okay. Well, that does make you kind of a goddess then.
Yeah.
Because you are all of that, and a cheeseburger too.
And a cheeseburger,
Sorry, no, and
too.
hops too. I should say hops instead.
And from there, I went to Guinness, and I was their international director of quality. So I basically roamed around the world and tested Guinness.
Did you ever hang out with the Guinness Book of World Records adjudicators?
No, I did not.
Because they get free Guinness wherever they go.
I'm sure they do.
And I want to ask you a question quick about Guinness.
Right.
Is it true they use isinglass as a filter? I've heard they use fish bladders or something, and that's also known as isinglass.
Well, it's actually more of a powdery solution, and you can put it, add it to your fermentation to kind of help precipitate out things. So
Cool. Well, so you have piles of experience. How'd you land back in Rochester?
I was offered a position to run the Finnish brewing business, Lapinkulta. My husband and I went to look at it, and we realized that, Helsinki's an awesome place. There's 5 million people in Finland, and 4.5 of them are in Helsinki, and they're all moving in different places. I had young kids, so the international school was on one side of Helsinki, and the brewing business was on the other side. So either way, it was kind of not a really good family situation.
Okay.
So we just opted out and came back to America, landed in Pine Island.
Which is where most people do land.
And then, Rochester's close by.
That's awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here. The beer you make is fantastic.
Well, it's actually Aaron makes the beer.
Aaron, you're fantastic.
Appreciate it.
A man of many words.
I do the talking. Aaron just does the work.
Well, that works. It's like Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
And you are kind of illusionist because from almost nothing comes something amazing.
Yeah.
And then you drink it and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like an illusion.
Yep.
All right, cool. Anything else we should know about your gig?
We do a lot of different beers.
You're doing an infusion tonight in Ken.
Yep, we have a small little keg. It's 5 gallons. And we started this program this year where once a month on a Wednesday evening, we take a base beer, one of them. Tonight's happens to be Easy A. And we have added jalapenos and limes to it.
Oh my gosh.
And we are going to serve it in a salt rim glass.
Nice.
So that's where we get to be, really creative.
Because you put that in with the beer, you let it become one with the beer. Maybe cousins, maybe first cousins.
Well, let's see. We've done. We took our steam powered, which is the coffee pale ale or coffee golden ale, and we put hazelnut with that. So it's like having a hazelnut coffee beer.
Right.
And we've done.
Have you ever done that over or as an ice cream float?
No, but that could be really good.
I'll bet it is.
I've served it with. I do a lot of beer food pairings, and I have served that steam powered with gingerbread.
Oh my gosh.
And people are like, I had no idea.
That sounds like heaven. And something you could offer someday, deep fat fried beer. I tried that once. I put the beer in pound cake.
Okay, yep.
And soaked it up, breaded it, put it in, and it was pretty phenomenal.
Okay.
Well, it's great meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for hanging out with me for a bit.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I don't think I have any questions more about the names of your places. I'm going to ask from now on, though, where did it grow up? Where did my beer grow up? Was it with Mark as a mom or dad or whatever?
Oh my God, I'm going to come super prepared now. One more thing I have to bug
you can actually make it up, and no one will ever know.
Aaron will know and Ann will know, and I will be corrected because they like precision. So, which is how beer should be made.
It is, absolutely. I was just thinking that it cut you some slack.
No,
All right.
no slack for me.
Just think about the slack.
No slack allowed.
Okay. Well, let's get back out to the front.
Okay.
Wait. This machine cans the beer. Can you show us how it works? Because this is really cool. Kind of looks like an old-fashioned sewing machine in the back end, and on the front end is like a drill press. It's really cool. I'm impressed by this. Justin is pulling a can of beer off the shelf, and it's going to be canned now. We're taking a look at the machine. We're going to see how it works now.
First, he takes the can. He does a thing with the stuff.
What does that do?
It's rinsing out any particulates, and then also it helps pour the beer better. It kind of lubricates the glass.
Okay, so he lubricated the thing.
Yep. Come over here.
And I'm so in the way. And we
sanitize
the taps.
It's a sanitized lid.
Sanitizing. Is that the hot steam?
This is a CO2 purge.
Okay. I guess I shouldn't say hot steam, because steam would be hot if it's steam.
Yes, correct. This is a CO2 purge.
And this is Beer J, named Beer J because it's so juicy. Is that right?
Correct.
I learned stuff, and I listened. I listened to Tesla last week. I'm impressed by that. So now you put the lid on it.
Yep.
And we walk over to the machine.
This part sometimes gets a little messy. Clamp it
He
in.
has clamped it in.
It's going to be loud.
Okay. And what's it actually doing there?
The two rollers on the outside come in and crimp the edge of the lid.
Oh, sure, okay.
The can. So if you take and you
So
look,
that seals it up.
So if you look at two different ones. See that when the lid starts, it'll just set right on.
Oh yeah, it's well,
And
it's
those just
yeah.
roll.
And so it's kind of like if you were putting foil on something and rubbing it around with your finger. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we are now at the bar. We have not really gone much further past. We did the brewery, and then we did the canning machine, and now we're out here. And there is something here called an Angrum. What the heck is this?
So this is actually called a beer engine, and this is called cask. We do cask conditioned beer. So this is really popular in the UK. It actually uses pressure and then this little sprinkler head to naturally carbonate the beer, and you keep the beer a little bit warmer, so it gives it a different flavor. It's kind of like making a Guinness style beer, but with just a tiny bit of CO2 and then pulling. It's really hard to pull.
Oh. You know, I've seen something like this in TV shows, well, British TV shows, where it looks like they're working really hard. I thought that was just a regular tap. And they were
No,
just...
you really have. There is pressure on there. So
Right,
there's
okay.
a lever, and then it'll fall. So just like a Guinness, you'll see all the beer fall.
You have literally helped my understanding of the TV series Midsummer Murders.
Well, who knew?
You spend a lot of time in pubs.
And it's an Irish ale red, and craic, C-R-A-I-C, is actually an Irish term for fun. Yeah, I'm having a day.
That's cool.
So yeah, so the kind of the cool thing is that this will make it creamier, and then just because it's set a little bit warmer than what we get our normal American style beer, it'll open up the flavor a lot more.
Well, that's cool. I gotta try that. It is. It's very creamy.
Isn't it really creamy? Yeah.
And it does change the taste. That's really cool. We are back in front of the bar now. Tessa, thank you so much for that tour behind the bar. It is really cool.
Well, thank you. Now when we talk, you actually know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
I do. And now I know who Mark is.
Yes, Mark the fermenter. And you know who Aaron and Ann are?
Yep.
That's important. That's kind of the most important.
Well, yeah, because they make things happen like
Yes.
that. And okay, so that's really awesome. I know that we have a big holiday weekend coming up,
Yeah.
and you must be pretty excited about that.
I'm excited because we're closed on Monday. We always close on Monday. It's pretty quiet downtown, and our staff all want to go out and spend time with their family
Right,
too.
right.
So,
So that's good. Yeah, I think I have the day off too. I'm not sure, but you have specials nonetheless.
Yes. So most major holidays will run a special. So we're run a 3-pack of growlers for $25, and then I think it's still the buy 2 growlers get a growler for free for the holidays because everybody drinks. It's our biggest kind of beer holiday. The start of the summer's Memorial.
Wait, are you saying two different words, growler and something else?
And crowler.
What's a crowler?
This is a crowler.
Oh,
It's like a
okay.
can growler.
I got you.
And then a growler is a gallon of beer in a glass jar.
The
This is
crowler. The crowler. All right, and so the growler is bigger, holds more, and it looks more like a bottle. It is a bottle.
It is a bottle. Ours is a glass bottle, but lots of people have them all. There's stainless steel. I've seen people actually have pottery ones, but ours is just glass.
And the growler isn't new, right? I mean, I didn't see it until I went to Portland back in, I think, 2013 or 2012. But it's been around forever because people have always wanted to take beer out of establishments.
Yep, it was actually a big deal when Rochester, or when Minnesota went to being able to purchase growlers, and then shortly after that, about 4 years ago, the Sunday sales of growlers and crowlers came. So that was huge for us when that
Okay.
started. Before then, you could not buy any beer to go and walk out the door with it on a Sunday.
It just never made sense. Never made sense to me. But I'm glad, and also I like to imagine a commercial between the growler and the crowler. The crowler looks like it's not going to be able to stand up to the growler. But it turns out the growler is just really friendly and just happens to growl, whereas the crowler is a little more aggressive, kind of like a Chihuahua versus, a Great Dane.
And you can take the crowler anywhere you want.
That's right.
So
It
you
fits
don't-
in your purse.
Fits in your purse, doesndoesn't break in your canoe.
No, I got
Take
your
it
canoe's
hiking.
good to go.
Take it hiking, take it camping.
If you're a voyageur and you're going, you're what do they call that? Portaging.
Portaging.
Past the rapids, it'll be in good shape for you when you finally have your split pea soup.
We have a couple guys going on that tour in about 10 days.
Is it really a voyageur tour?
No, but they are boundary waters
Okay.
every summer.
I used to be a waiter at a place called Café de Voyageur. We had big puffy sleeve shirts like the
In
pirate shirt on
Rochester?
Seinfeld. No, in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, because it was located on Portage Avenue because the world famous Sioux Locks are there in place of the rapids of St. Mary that used to be there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And yeah, tons of fur trading up in that area. And in fact, for a while, I used to live in a John Jacob Astor house. I like them apples. Anyway, I had to wear these awful clothes to serve the food because I looked like a voyageur. And if they were actually dressing like that, I wanted to go and laugh.
Yes, back then they probably did.
They,
They probably did. Because, they'll laugh at our clothes 100 years from
Sure.
now, too.
Well, and my problem was that it was an uncomfortable situation. The uniforms, there were 6 of them, but there were 12 wait staff. So we had to share them.
Shut up. For real?
True story. Run by a couple nuns, and mostly hired folks from Upward Bound, a situation that was trying to help kids move up from here to here, and so they paid awful. Or maybe that was just wages, $2 when you're on clock. But when you were off the floor, it was still $2.
Wow.
And they got mad. They didn't think I was fit for it, so I wouldn't memorize the menu. And I had just seen Sherlock Holmes say that why would you bother memorizing something when it's written down? So I said that
To a nun?
to the nuns. Well, they're reformed nuns. I'm sorry, not reformed nuns. They were no longer nuns. They left the nunnery. They were in love with each other, so they left the nunnery.
It's very brave of you.
And it was. Well, it turned out they weren't the, hit you with the ruler kind of nuns. They were then you're fired. And that's cool. Come on. I was saying to them, well, Sherlock Holmes says I deserve to be fired. Yeah.
Smart nuns.
Yep, they're very smart nuns. Anyway, that's my knowledge of voyageuring. So, and growing up in that area where they did it.
Got it.
We saw lots of moccasins too.
James, you've had an interesting life.
I think you have too. I think we're kind of matched that way. Okay, so specials for Memorial Day. That's awesome. And what are you looking forward to this summer?
Oh, this summer is going to be a lot of fun. So this summer we're doing what used to formerly be known as Thursdays on First is now Thursdays downtown. We're bringing paella back this year by popular demand. We'll be making chicken and a shrimp paella.
Those paella cookers are enormous.
Yeah, they are. They are. I am very grateful that I have a good team that helps me clean them because
Yes.
they are giant. And we should hopefully be having a parklet up by mid-June.
What's a parklet?
A parklet is a small park-like deck that the community can use, but will be in front of Grand Rounds.
But is it like going to be up, constructed above the sidewalk in the parking area?
Even with the sidewalk, so it's accessible by everybody, and it's.
Oh, so it extends the sidewalk like a. Oh.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, it's a grand experiment. We're having it made out of emerald ash borer trees that they were normally throwing away. So we found a way to get the city to say, if you pick them up and you make the wood, you can build it out of this.
Yeah, well, that's great. Why get rid of the trees if they're useful for something?
Well, we're gonna find out.
That's right. That's
gonna
true.
find out.
You might discover the emerald ash borer really wants beer too.
I think that
Look,
would
I'm
be
knocking on your door.
Yep.
Excuse me, where's the beer? And then they would make you fall asleep talking because they're borers.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
That's pretty funny.
Yes, that's what I do a lot. So this has really been a fantastic day, and
Yeah.
I like doing it in the studio with you on Saturdays, but I think this is fantastic to be able to see some of the brewing process, get the explanations, see behind the scenes. I can't wait for us sometime to go downstairs to mail.
I am looking forward to that. We have to prep Jeff,
Yep.
and we have to make sure that Jeff has enough coffee or caffeine that day, so we get him to match your energy level, or maybe half.
Or maybe
half.
I could have fewer cups of coffee.
Perhaps
I could do that.
you could have more beer. That would
It is
probably
such
do
good
it.
beer. This unicorn, magical unicorn, is wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, from the Grand Rounds. The Grand Rounds or just Grand Rounds?
Grand Rounds.
We need to think of a name for the show, because I've been saying Tessa from Grand Rounds. But if you want to think of a name for it, or have your customers think of a name for it,
Oh, that's a good idea.
Tessa's Time, not Tea Time with Tessa,
Well, we always say when you
Beer Schlag, or
live grand,
Live Grand. Live Grand with Tessa. Oh, that's kind of nice. I like that.
live grand with beer.
Better than Beer Stube with Tessa. It's time to enter the Beer Stube.
Hashtag name our show.
That's it. Hashtag name our show.
We need
Awesome.
we need a name. We need a name for the show.
We do. If you can think of a name, that's great. There'll be a link on this page to send an email to me to say, here's what the name should be.
Oh, we're gonna vote.
Right? You can do that, Aaron? Aaron's been pretty quiet the whole time, but he's been the one recording all this. No names that have the word sofa or king in them.
We had a beer called that.
No.
Sofa King beer.
Oh.
Yes, we did.
You know what's wrong with that?
There's a lot wrong.
No, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. Well, I have emceed runs before, and you got teams together, and everyone wants to call themselves the Sofa King whatever. And it's just, pick a new joke.
Well, we don't care. We don't have a beer.
Yeah, because you use the joke, you're done with it, and that's good. That's the way it ought to be.
We're done with
It's great. You make the joke and you move on. Running teams don't move on.
They're running teams.
Oh, wait.
They're supposed to be
Yes, they
moving
do.
on.
Well, they don't move on from names,
Got it.
you know. Anyway, thank you for another great show.
Thank you.
And thank you, Aaron, for helping out today.
Thanks, Aaron.